What's up, guys? You might be saying, damn, Dabuz, I want some personalized advice from your freaking ridiculous galaxy brain. How do I get that? Check out the Patreon. For $5 a month, you can once a month send me a short clip and I will look at the clip and give you some feedback, some analysis on that one. And if the clip is awesome, it might even become a YouTube short over here. Just throwing that out there. Check out the Patreon. If you want to support this channel, peace out. You saw me do it a few times. Whenever Steve's trying to craft like on the table, you can run up to the table and body block him as he's trying to run up and craft. So he has to read that and grab you, but even then he's not getting much damage and he's not getting free damage.
Right.
It felt like he played a lot slower than the other Steves. Like, as I play Yanni a lot at like tournaments, so I'm very comfortable in the matchup.
Yanni's cracked.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's cracked.
And like, so knowing that, plus I play a bit of Steve myself, right? And so kind of knowing the hitboxes of Steve and where he can't really like hit me is a big deal, because you want to be like making him want to hit you, but not letting him do that. And then if he's not falling for the bait, he's more of a slow play style, so he's not going to take those openings like unless I give it to him. We're talking about the idea of having a focus, having a game plan, right? People tell me when they're playing, they're trying to look at everything. They're trying to focus on everything their opponent's doing. Options, edge guards, blah, blah, blah. Just trying to overwhelm themselves. Really, when you're playing both in friendlies and in serious brackets, you should be limiting your focus to specific things. So let's say you're like trying to do a serious session to like replicate bracket. You want to focus on things you're trying to improve on, generally in friendlies, and like make that the focus of your thought and let most of your gameplay be autopilot. And for bracket, it's similar, except you want to focus on certain parts of the matchup or your opponent and let everything else be autopilot, right? Because I'm not going to be in bracket thinking, oh, I need to work on my spacing with this back here. That's a friendlies thing. Let's say I'm fighting Falcon, right? When does the Falcon player want to burst me down? Where do I want to be to avoid getting killed or taking a lot of damage from combos? What is recovery habits? Where are the openings? So, ledge jumping, first of all, not a great option in Ultimate. You can DI the ledge trumps. You put yourself in a kind of risky spot where generally maybe like, oh, I gotta get back here, right? However, ledge jump is a direct counter to the strongest ledge option, ledge hold, because it says, oh, you're gonna hold ledge. Nope, can't do it. Most characters have ways to cover a lot, if not every ledge option at once, if they read the timing. Like if I'm Palatine and I do like this forward tilt, that covers basically everything. So the way to beat that kind of stuff is holding ledge. So having a direct answer to that is phenomenal, right? But another thing about ledge jumping that's important is not being obvious with it. A lot of people do this. They want a ledge jump and they're like, oh, I'm gonna walk to the ledge before the opponent grabs ledge, and it's like, what are you doing? I know you want a ledge jump. What good players do is they make it look like they're gonna trump, nope, jump back forward. It's really good, actually, and sometimes better to make people afraid of the ledge jump than to actually go for it, because it forces people off the ledge immediately without the risk of, oh, I'm actually trumping. Honestly, there's a lot more nuance in the ledge trump play than people have ever explored, in my opinion. So you're fighting a Luigi player, right? And they're spamming fireballs, whatever. If you're in this spacing and you like roll, you're gonna roll into a fireball, into a grab, whatever, because you can't get behind them during the invincibility of your roll. You can like time the roll, maybe like use the invincibility through the attack. That's not very strong. However, if you are here, you're across the roll position. Because the roll puts you behind the opponent, that beats fireball. That'll beat any frontward facing move. Granted, if the opponent's like knowing you're gonna roll, they can be like, oh, I'm gonna like up smash it or grab. Doesn't really matter. Not the hardest thing to cover. However, that's assuming they're ready for it, right? You're not invincible for the entirety of the roll either, and if it's vulnerable. But like being able to do that is so important, especially for characters who need to get in the opponent's face, like Mario, or maybe a grappler like Incineroar, or Ganondorf. It's actually an underrated option in my opinion. It's easier to figure out what's going wrong from the perspective of being in the losing situation. Because if you're winning, it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm just gonna do the same thing I'm doing. But when you're losing, it's like, oh, I'm getting beaten up for doing this. I'm not doing this. When you lose, it's very good to think about what went wrong in the match so you can use that to adjust for the next set in bracket. But you want to keep it very objective. You have to remember, whenever you're playing, you're not out. Until the set is over, you can still win the game. You're still in it. One of the worst things you can do is mid-set, get emotional, get angry, to think, oh, I lost. You have to think, all right, if my opponent could take 2 stocks without me losing 1, I can do the same thing back. That's how this game works. Unless you're fighting a Sonic, that might be rough. There's 60 frames per second in Ultimate, so each frame is 1/60th of a second. When it comes to shared options, every character's game has 3 frame jump square except Kazuya. And then if you want to do an attack, it's that plus how many frames the attack is. Now, if you are gonna do a shield grab and your shield gets hit in Ultimate, add 4 frames to the start of your grab. If you're gonna roll out a shield, half a second each. If you're gonna spot dodge, you're stuck in the animation until frame 20, 25, depending if you're gonna attack or not. Shield drop is 11 frames before you can do anything, assuming you didn't parry. Significantly slower than jumping, right? The reason that jump as shield is so good is, 1, it's very fast, right? Right, no, like I'm just immediately doing this. And you're not committing to anything either. The thing about like up smash and up BS shield, right, is you're committing to pretty laggy options generally, unless you're game watching doing up BS shield. Generally just best shield option. So this is something I see people do all the time when they get hit. They mash directional air dodge a lot at these lower percents. What happens is people panic. They get hit and they're like, oh, I gotta avoid the combo, right? And they think directional air dodge puts them away from their opponent. Online, whatever, you can do it. You'll still probably get hit for it, but it's not as bad. But offline, look at this lag, right? I'm getting hit and I do like this. I can't do anything. I'm trying to jump. I can't even like drift really. For the most part, if my opponent has eyes and a brain, they're just gonna see that and go, oh, they're in a lot of lag. Easy hits. It's okay to take damage instead of that, because you're only making the situation worse. The only time it's an exception is sometimes when you get hit, directional air dodging like this, off stage and recovering, if you have a good recovery, can be decent if the opponent's character can't chase you.
I've been going just kind of 2-2 in tournaments, and just wanted to kind of work on all of that type of stuff, so to speak.
I'll give you some advice as I see it, and yeah.
So how'd you know I was going to roll there? Just curious.
It's just a bad habit people have when they're panicking. The thing is, everyone does, you know what I mean?
I feel like I do because, Roy's a fast character. I'm just trying to play fast.
I can give you a lot of advice from that one game alone, if you want.
Yeah.
Whenever you're, like, next to me, like, you roll up tilt. And up tilt's not particularly safe, nor even that rewarding. I don't think I've seen you use a single, like, jab up close or down tilt, right? And those can set combos.
Yeah. I'm going to try implementing some of that stuff.
Yeah, let's go. Playing around your combo tools much more helps so much.
I didn't notice how much I actually did the up tilt of the shield until you said it. Now I see what you're saying because it's not rewarding from a combo standpoint.
Yeah. When you're at disadvantage, this is a bad habit everyone has. You panic double jump way too much. When you get hit out of your jump, you're basically just dead.
Can't really recover. Okay.
See the panic double jump, right?
Yeah, I did panic double jump.
Oh my god, you gotta stop with these double jumps, bro. Yeah. Please, I'm begging you.
I guess it's like you said, a nervous habit. How do you get into breaking those habits?
You can't break a habit by doing nothing. You have to break a habit by replacing it. So a better habit would be, for example, taking your double jump and recovering low and using the double jump as a mix-up. When you get hit, just be okay going to the ledge. Thank you.
I don't know why I did that.
The trick when you're trying to cover someone teching on a platform is remembering that there is a consistent timing for them teching or missing tech, right? So if I do this and my opponent misses the tech, like that, that's a consistent timing. And so generally what a good thing to do is going to be do this and then just react to the tech roll mostly, right? Because if I do this and short hop, tech in place, I can react to that. And that's easy to react to along with missing the tech. If they tech roll in the way I'm not ready for, they got it. That's really it. But see how like me covering the tech in place, but also slightly drifting the cover tech roll, I can cover both those at once. So it's very easy to cover multiple options that way. And if I was fast at reacting, I could easily cover like everything. This is even easier with certain characters, right? Like let's say you are Rosa. Because I cover the entire platform with the Nair, literally all I need is good timing and using like the spacing correctly, and there's literally nothing you can do about this situation. You look for a lot of grabs with the character, but the grabs just aren't that rewarding. If you do, it's like 10, 12 damage if you get a combo, and if you don't get a combo, it's even less.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you didn't even do 10 damage with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's not that you should never grab, obviously it's an answer to shield, but it's not like something you want. You know, like with Fox doesn't want grab, he just takes it when there's nothing else he can get. And he tries using that for a positional advantage. I would say it's the same way for Aegis, outside of like 0% grabs with Mythor.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Should I space more like with my dash dance or like dashing in general, or like aerial?
You want to think about this character as a hit and run character. You be evasive and you find right openings while being evasive. And abuse neutral. I can't emphasize enough just how good neutral is.
Yeah.
Another thing with this character is that you want to switch to Pyra a lot when like you're in advantage state and the opponent's got kill percents. You don't want to play neutral with Pyra. You don't really want to play advantage though with Mythra at kill percents.
So even if they're at high percent, just kind of go back to Mythra and like sort of win neutral and then switch to Pyra.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Mix up what you're using here. If you have multiple options and one type of DI beats one of them and not the other one, utilize that. Like, oh, I know my opponent's gonna DI in that case, let me get the jab going and potentially kill them. Or I know my opponent's gonna DI away, in that case, instead of going for the jab because I know it's not gonna kill them, let's do the forward tilt because they're gonna DI to their death. Just something worth thinking about with your setups, your kill moves, combos, you name it. I guarantee your character is someplace you can use reading the opponent's DI to your advantage. I think also the big deal is just like not being caught in this position in the first place. Like there, you put yourself in the corner.
Yeah, I think the reason I do that is because I like to wait and see what people do. So like my default is just, go far away from my opponent just to like see what they do. And I feel like there's like a better way to do that.
You have to be just more comfortable playing at close range and using your neutral air. This character is all about mobility, but you have to be good at like using that mobility to stay around the opponent. And here, you almost just killed yourself there.
I see what you mean.
Let's talk about using up airs instead of up tilts as an anti-air. I see this all the time where the opponent's like jumping and the other person's like, I'm just gonna up tilt and catch the landing, which is fine. It's not a bad option. Up tilts are meant to, anti-air generally. But the problem with this is kind of up to your opponent's timing if you want to hit the up tilt, right? Like they have to kind of fall into the up tilt. When you do something like this, you're more aggressively throwing a hitbox out where the opponent is, so you're covering their movement more actively. It also gives me access to things like this, where I can jump a little bit early, up air to control that space, and then I get better combos. The universal ultimate thing is falling aerials tend to lead to very good combos, especially at low mid percents.